For our next video, we will multiply and divide complex numbers. For number 15, this certainly looks like we're going to just distribute. That's exactly what we'll do. 3i times negative 2 is a negative 6i. 3i times 4i. 3i times 4i will get you 12i squared. Now, what we saw earlier on a previous problem, by definition, I squared is negative 1. Now, we've had a shortcut. Rather than physically replace I squared with negative 1, we've been crossing it out and changing the sign of that number. The reason why we can do that is because negative 1 times a number will just change its sign. What we're going to be left with is, if we write our real number first, is negative 12, then we have a minus 6i. If we move on to number 16, if we take 5 times 2, we'll get 10. 5 times negative 3i is minus 15i. Negative 2i times 2 is negative 4i. And negative 2i times negative 3i will get plus 6i squared. Now again, you are more than welcome to replace I squared with negative 1, but the shortcut is to cross that out and change the sign of the number in front. Multiplying by negative 1 will just change the sign of a number. So at this point, what we're going to do is just combine our like terms. And as we combine our like terms, you can see we'll have 10 and negative 6. 10 and negative 6 will add up to a 4. Negative 15i minus 4i will add to negative 19i. And that's as far as we're going to go. Now, number 17 is actually going to be very, very close to the same problem. You can see 17, we're just going to be distributing. And all we got to do is FOIL. We'll go 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times negative 2i is minus 6i. 2i times 3 will get a plus 6i. And 2i times a minus 2i will get negative 4i squared. Now, at this point, again, realize that you can cross out that I squared and change the sign of that number. That's honestly what you'll do every time you see an I squared. Cross it out, change its sign. I'm using a different color to really making it jump out. A 9 and a 4 are like terms. They add up to 13. And actually, negative 6i and plus 6i add up to 0i. In other words, there's no I component and you're done. For number 18, as we venture on to number 18 here, hopefully what you can do is see that division is going to involve really focusing in that denominator. What we did before is we multiplied the top and the bottom by the conjugate of that denominator. The conjugate looks exactly the same, except you have a different sign in the middle. So I have 1 plus 2i, here I have a 1 minus 2i. Start multiplying and FOILing out. 1 times 1 is just a 1. 1 times minus 2i is a negative 2i. Negative 4i times 1 is a minus 4i. Negative 4i times negative 2i is a plus 8i squared. Likewise, down below, we'll distribute. 1 times 1 is a 1. Here I'll take 1 minus 2i. I'll get a negative 2i. 2i times 1 is a plus 2i. And then 2i times negative 2i will get you a minus 4i squared. Now again, we're almost done. What you really want to do is cross out your I squareds and change the sign. This becomes a negative 8. This I squared cancels out and it turns into a plus 4. Now all you have to do is really go ahead and change this problem by simplifying it and really just get all your like terms together. So up on top, we're going to have a 1 and a negative 8. This adds to negative 7. Negative 2i and minus 4i add to negative 6i. Down below, your negative 2i and plus 2i will cancel. And then you'll have down below is 1 plus 4, that's just a 5. Now you really should separate this as two different fractions. Write that as negative 7/5 minus 6i all over 5.